Rant on Air.
What's up, world? It's your favorite duo, Chicana Eri and Chicana CJ, coming to live with a show that's all about letting it all out. Meron ka bang boss na nag-i-email sa'yo tuwing madaling araw? Or meron ka bang kapitbahay na sobrang ingay? Well, we feel you. And guess what?
This is your space to scream, vent, and rant till your heart's content. No complaint is too small, no frustration is too extra. We're here to make your minor inconveniences sound like breaking news. So buckle up, grab that mic, and let's rant like there's no tomorrow. Welcome to Rant on Air!
Kailangan mo ba ng tulong? Pwes, nandito ang Rant on Air para sa'yo. Oh wait, mukhang may tumatawag. May tumatawag. Are you ready for the first rant today? Mukhang mapapasabak tayo ngayon na.
Hi, Chicana CJ and Chicana Eri. I am a second-year student and I'm currently taking up a course about Philippine history. Our current topic is about life in a cigar factory during the 19th century. For some reason, I just can't properly study this topic. We have this prof kasi, feel ko he doesn't know how to teach. Can you help me naman a little bit?
Now we're back with her stories about history.
Buckle up mga bakla! So Chicana Eri, ano nga ba ang cigar factories?
Ang kasagutan ko ay hindi namin alam. Bago natin alamin kung ano bang meron sa cigar factories, alamin muna natin ang history ng tobacco dito sa Pilipinas. Base sa aming pag-aaral, tobacco was introduced in the Philippines in the late 1500s. It grew through colonial expansion and exploitation and reached world fame under La Tabacalera in the late 1800s. It declined after the World War II and then experienced a craft-focused renaissance in 1990s. Today, Manila cigars are celebrated for its light, smooth, aromatic, and historically rich.
So partner, matagal na pala ang industriya ng tabako rito sa Pilipinas.
Talaga?
Yes, sapagkat noong ika-19 na siglo sa Pilipinas, ang paggawa ng tabako ay isang pangunahing industriya, partikular na sa Maynila. Maraming mga pabrika sa kabilang ang La Flor de la Isabela at Fabrika de Arceros. Gumagamit ito ng libu-libong manggagawa. Karamihan na rito ang mga kababaihan na kilala bilang sigareras.
Sigareras?
Upang maghandro ng mga tabako. Ang mga tabako na ito, lalo na ang mga mula sa La Flor de la Isabela, ay naging mataas na itinuguri sa buong mundo. Nakaribal maging ang Havana cigar.
Havana?
Havana. Ngayon, alam mo na.
So what can you say naman about the conditions of the cigareras sa Manila that time?
According to our research, the conditions of the cigareras were mixed hardship, resilience, and quiet revolution.
Ano ba yung mga hardship, partner?
Madami! Kasi nga, the cigareras of Manila were exploited workers under colonial capitalism. Napakababa ng sahod nila. At sa sobrang stricto, pwede pang bumaba yung sahod nila na yun kapag nagkakamali sila. Mahirap talaga yung kondisyon ng trabaho nila dahil wala pang labor rights na pumoprotekta sa kanila at may mga abuses na nangyari dahil doon. Yet, they managed to carve out a space for economic independence and subtle resilience. Their labor built the Manila cigars' global reputation, even as they endured harsh conditions. Today, they remain iconic figures in the Philippine labor and feminist history. Itong mga kababaihan na to, partner, sila yung rason kung bakit meron tayong mga labor rights, especially as women. They paved the way for our rights in the workforce.
Yes.
Today, they were responsible for tasks such as rolling tobacco leaves, cutting cigar tips, and counting finished cigars and packing them in boxes. Dahil nga paulit-ulit yung trabaho nila, prone sila sa crampings ng kamay at bawal sila tumigil sa kakatrabaho. Kaya normal sa kanila na magkamali Kasi nga nahihirapan sila na paulit-ulit yung ginagawa. Lalo na dahil yung mga work hours nila napakahaba.
Full day.
Typically
Full day.
from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, 12 hours yun, partner.
Yes, kahit may break sila na 2 hours.
Kaya nga, kahit may break sila na 2 hours, hindi pa rin sila nakakapahinga na maayos dahil nga, yung environment nila is hindi malinis according to some foreign visitors na nagsabi na the strong smell of tobacco and the repetitive pounding of tobacco leaves, it proves that this job is very physically demanding.
Dagdag ko lang, sabi ni Kamagay, working women in 19th century Philippines also confirms certain things we have known or suspected about the oppression and exploitation of women.
Ano ba yun, partner?
Ito na nga, partner. She take note of the complaints of abuses committed against of the criadas, the rivalry between the matronas titulares or licensed midwife, and the traditional hilot and partera, the forcible prostitution of young girls. Imagine, from
Oh
the
my
provinces. And the fact that maestras were paid wages lower than the wages of the male teachers.
So from the beginning pala, yung payment sa mga babae at sa mga lalaki, malaking difference.
Yes, grabe yung pang-aano nila sa mga kababaihan. That's why it is important for these concrete cases of exploitation to be brought to the attention of the feminist readers and activists, that they may see how much better or worse off is this the situation of today's working women. More importantly, such account enable us to appreciate the Filipino working women for economic independence and critical moments in our national history. Take note of that.
Kaya napaka-importante talaga alahanin to, lalo na sa mga kabataan at kababaihan. That's everything we learned throughout this segment. Do you have any further questions?
Wala na po. This topic is really interesting pala when the people discussing it are enthusiastic. So, prof talaga namin problem. Thank you so much, Chicana.
That's all for this segment. Thank you for being with us, Kachikas.
Chicanas out!